If you like making love at midnight, now you have half a brain. If you like making love at midnight, if you have half a brain. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? I'm cooling it in the LA sun. So, we got like a lot of people in here already. Hello, everyone. So if you saw the story, I wanted to come on live and kind of talk to you guys about my whole situation going on. I know I've been kind of in the dark the past couple weeks. So for those of you who don't know, I have been in the hospital for the past 13 days. So it honestly felt longer, not gonna lie, it felt a lot longer. But I've been in the hospital for the past like 14 days or so, 13, 14 days, about 2 weeks, because of this right here. So this is my bandage. That's my bandage. So you missed some of the live, it's okay. All you missed was basically me just saying, hey everybody, been MIA, but I'm back and I'm here to explain. So, am I better? Yes, I am way better. I'm almost back to 100%, which is so exciting. So, basically, to explain what's going on with this whole situation, you need a med kit. I need a med kit. All is well, but starting probably right before me and the guys all went on vacation, so right before I went to the Virgin Islands, I was kind of getting like these on and off sore throats, and I didn't really like think anything about it, because I was like, okay, like I'm a singer, I probably have been singing a lot, like I'm probably getting a sore throat just from singing all the time, like it's probably nothing major. So obviously I told my mom and stuff, and I was like, hey mom, help, because like you always need your mom when you're sick. When I smile, the thing goes up. Ready? That's so stupid. I love those shades. Thank you. I got them today, and they're like kind of fresh, so I've just been wearing them. Oh, and I also got my hair cut. As you can see, it's pretty short. This is the blob of hair on my head, but it's pretty short. But I was so excited to get a haircut. Like I needed one so bad. Anyway, okay, now I'm actually gonna explain. I've been like dragging this on so long. So basically, I had some on and off sore throats, right? And I was like, okay, like some sore throats, it's not a big deal. I'm used to this. And so I was just taking like some Sudafed, which is like pressure and pain medication, and then like some Cepafil, which is like it's like a throat lozenge, so it like numbs your throat a little bit. And they were on and off, so they would go and they went away. And then when I was in the Virgin Islands for like the first 3 days, I had a really bad sore throat, and it like really hurt to swallow, and like it was pretty bad. So I was like medicating to kind of get that to go away. And then while I was in the Virgin Islands, obviously y'all know I broke my phone, so I couldn't really update you guys too much on that. And then I also got stung by a sea urchin. My brother, we were snorkeling. My brother goes underneath the water and he runs down. He's like, watch me pet this sea urchin. And so for those of you who don't know what a sea urchin is, it's one of those, it's like a ball with these giant long spikes under the water, and they're like super painful if they prick you. So he goes and he's just kind of like tickling the sea urchin, and I'm like, okay, like I want to go do that. So I did, and I think I went like too far in because they have like smaller spikes, and like 2 of the smaller spikes stuck me right in my finger, and my whole finger swole up, and my whole finger was completely red. So maybe that had something to do with it too. But back to the sore throats. We get back to LA. I got back to LA on like July 6th or July 7th. And then got a little bit of a sore throat, but like really didn't think much of it at all. And then all of a sudden, I wake up one morning. Well, I thought I had a bunch of mucus in my throat. So, by the way, beware, this might be a kind of gross conversation just because, like, I'm going to be using the word mucus a lot. I'm going to be using the word throat a lot. Like, I'm talking about surgery. So, yeah, just heads up. But I thought I just had, like, a lot of mucus in my throat from a sore throat, from maybe being a little sick or something. I couldn't really tell. So I went to go get a Mucinex so that I could, dissolve some of that mucus, and so I could breathe and swallow and all that good stuff, basically live. And the Mucinex pill got stuck in my throat, which was kind of alarming. And I remember just being like super stressed out at this point, because I was like, I have a Mucinex pill stuck in my throat, and I could feel it, and I could like sometimes massage it, and it would go all the way down to like here, but I could still feel it in my esophagus, which was like super uncomfortable and super annoying. And so I didn't sleep at all that night because it was so uncomfortable, and I was just nervous that it would maybe like choke me or whatever. So at this point I had called my manager, and I was like, hey, I need to go see a doctor for this. And so I got an appointment for the next morning, but it was the next morning that I could go. So kind of slept really on and off. I was waking up like every 45 minutes or so through the night. And then I would drink some water and try to swallow the water to get the pill to go down. But it wouldn't go down. And I was like, all right, dog, like, why? What is going on? In the end, it turns out that my throat was completely swollen, and it got trapped in this swelling in my throat. But we'll get to that part of the story soon. So I go and see the doctor in the morning, and he basically says, okay, you have a very, very bad throat infection, and there is an abscess, which is basically like, it's like a big swelling. It's like it's a kind of gross way to put it. It's kind of like a pus pocket, I guess. It's like I don't know. It's like a huge swollen ball in my throat that was covering 90% of my airway. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, in the morning when I woke up, I tried to drink water and I couldn't swallow the water. It would all come back up, and like I was like choking. It was bad. Anyway, I didn't say anything about it yet because I wanted to be sure, and I didn't want to scare anybody, and I didn't want to make a whole big ordeal about it until I knew exactly what was going on. So I'm at the doctor. Abscess is covering 90% of my airway. It was at the point where if I turned my head this far to the right, it would cut off my entire airway, and I couldn't breathe. So I had to keep it straight, but I was already struggling to breathe. Now, I thought this was the Mucinex pill in my throat. So this whole time I'm thinking, okay, doctor's going to give me something that's going to dissolve this pill in my throat. I'm going to be fine. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'll go back to normal. But then I found out that it was a swelling thing. So then they rushed me in an ambulance to the ER. And I was put in intensive care for, I ended up being there for 4 or 5 days. But that day that they rushed me to the ER, we got there, and then literally within like an hour or two, I got what's called a CAT scan, so they could scan my whole, scan my throat, see what was going on. And then a couple hours after that, doc goes, we need to have surgery tonight, ASAP. So that was at about 2 o'clock, and then about 5 o'clock, 5:30, I went into surgery. So somewhere between that time frame, I tweeted saying, hey everybody, this is the dealio, I gotta get surgery, I'll be out. So for those of you who are wondering what kind of surgery I got what's called a tracheometry or something like, tracheometry, just some big doctor word that I don't know. Which is essentially, the doctor had to cut a hole in my windpipe. This is the kind of gross part, so if you're sensitive to this kind of stuff, beware. But cut a hole in my windpipe and had to go in my throat and basically cut a bunch of like lesions. Tracheotomy, that's what it is, tracheotomy. Thank you, Acravis, you rock. Tracheometry, that sounds like some sort of math subject. So that was what I got, and basically the infection was around my entire throat. Now the good news that I found out soon was that my vocal cords were in perfect condition. My voice box was pretty messed up because it had gotten infected, but my vocal cords were not infected at all. My vocal cords were in perfect condition, which was the biggest relief for me ever, because my biggest worry was oh my god, like what if this infection goes into my vocal cords, and like what if I can't sing, or like what if I can't even talk at the end of this, or like, you know what I mean? So there were a lot of thoughts going through my head. But I mean, you always just got to stay positive, and I tried to keep myself positive and really just hope for the best. Because, you know, when you put good energy out there, good energy tends to return, which is something I believe in. So, God, why does my hair keep falling out this thing? Come on, Hat, you're supposed to help me out. Please. Please, Hat. So, as you guys can probably tell, I was pretty stressed at this point. Okay, yep, sorry. I was pretty stressed at this point because I didn't know it was going to happen. But I got the trach in. Now, the trach is basically, it's basically like a tube that kind of goes in your throat right here, and it has a little tube that goes down, and it basically makes it so that you can breathe, because my throat was swollen all up here, and I couldn't breathe through my nose and my mouth. So I essentially had to breathe through my throat. That way, you know, I could get my oxygen, and I could breathe, and stay alive, basically. Had the trach in intensive care for about 5 days, and when the trach's in, you can't talk. Did it hurt? Yeah, I mean, coming right out of surgery was pretty bad, because I went under anesthesia, obviously, so I woke up and didn't know where I was, and I was in ICU, and I was like, oh, okay, like, what's happening? My neck is in a ton of pain. But they were giving me painkillers and stuff to make sure that I was all right. And the painkillers helped me through. The painkillers got me through. I was fine. But at this point, I hadn't eaten in 4 days because I didn't have what's called a PICC line, which is where they can feed you your proteins and your amino acids and basically just everything you need to survive. I had only been getting fluids and liquids, which you can't survive without water for very long at all. So they were pumping fluids and liquids in me and antibiotics and stuff like that to fight the infection, and then my fluids were basically keeping me alive. And then I got what's called a PICC line, which is a line that goes in your arm here. I still have the bandage on. You can't really see, it's under here, but it runs through here into the major vein right here, and it goes across, and it goes across your chest in the vein and into your heart. Not all the way into your heart, but just basically to the entryway of your heart right here. What about Adam's apple? I still got my Adam's apple. My Adam's apple's fine. But that's basically how they fed me, was through that PICC line, which didn't hurt at all, so don't worry about that. It didn't hurt at all. It just kept me alive. So I was in ICU for a few days, and at first my throat really, really hurt because the doctor had to go in and basically make a bunch of incisions in my throat, so a bunch of cuts. That way he could kind of essentially cut out the infection. So that was pretty bad, but ICU for about 5 days, and then I got moved to just some regular hospital rooms. But it was funny. All the nurses were super nice to me, and they were really, really great. A lot of great care, just making sure I'm okay, and always making sure that my medicine and my fluids and my food is all, like, you know, up to date, up to par, making sure that I'm not, you know, dipping down on any of my essentials or anything like that. So the care was amazing, and so it definitely wasn't as bad of an experience as it could have been. Definitely sucked. Like, I'm really, really glad to be out, but I couldn't talk. So with the trach in, you can't talk because no air goes through your vocal cords. It just comes straight out your throat. So the whole time, for almost 2 weeks, my only form of communication was pointing, hitting things, and typing in my notes, and then holding my phone up to the nurse so that she could read what I'm trying to say. So that was kind of funny for a little while. But then about 2 days ago probably, I finally got my voice back. So they'd been waiting for the swelling to go down, so my doctor, my ENT doctor, would come and check up on me every day or so, and basically just see how my swelling is doing, how close I am to being able to breathe normally again. And then about 2 days ago, I finally got my voice back. So in the trach, there's like I said, there's a hole where you basically breathe out of. They plugged up that hole, air to go up here through my nose and through my mouth and through the rest of my throat. And so when that happened, air could go through the vocal cords. And so, boom, 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 the air was circulating, and so I got my voice back, but my voice was very, very fragile for that first day, just because I literally hadn't talked in about 2 weeks. And my throat was still swollen, so it was more of a test than it was like a, for sure, okay, he's well, he's perfectly good again. But it was like I could say like a sentence, but then I would have to take another deep breath, then say another sentence, and then take another deep breath. But the good news was that I was healing a lot quicker than they thought I was going to heal. So for me, that was a good like mental power note, like, hey, I'm healing, all is going well, I'll be out of here in a few days, and everything will be good. And then the past couple days have really just been taking care of my throat, and so they took the trach out, and then I'm not going to show you guys, but there's literally still a hole in my throat right here. So my windpipe on the inside completely closed up today, because what was funny was I wouldn't be able to talk, but then I could close off this section of my throat, like, you know when you like sometimes people will do that thing where, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, where you kind of like push your breath and then your face gets all red and like a lot of, you know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but when I would do that, the air would come out of my throat instead, which is funny. It was a cool little party trick for a couple days, but this morning I woke up and it was completely closed and I couldn't force any air out of it, so that's really good news. So now the outer layer of skin right here just has to close up. I see a lot of you guys asking about a scar. I don't know if there's going to be a scar. The doctors were saying there might be a really small scar there. It'll be more visible, for the first month or two, I guess. But after that, but they were saying there might not even really be you might have to really go up to it to look to even see it. So I'm not sure. Only time will really tell. But they said there definitely won't be like a huge scar right here that's like super noticeable or like, you know what I mean? Which would have been kind of fresh. I would not have been mad at a scar. But we'll see. Only time will tell. I saw someone ask, did I get in trouble for milli rocking? Yeah, so I have a story to tell you guys. When I was still at the doctor, when I was still at the hospital, I was obviously, my body was pretty weak because I had been laying down in a bed for 2 weeks straight. I hadn't really got up, and I would go on like daily walks, but it was only like a lap around the hospital floor, so it wasn't really like a walk. It was just like a, test my body, see how my body's doing, make sure I can actually do it. But I would get pretty winded because it was kind of hard to breathe with the trach in, so wouldn't really do too much walking. But there was one time I was just feeling good, I was feeling happy, and we're in my hospital room, and I stood up and started milli rocking, and I was just kind of like getting it, and then my heart rate jumped up to like 160 or something like that, and the alarm starts going off, and then like 3 nurses come in the room, and I was just milli rocking, and they were like, stop milli rocking. And I was like, alright, fine. But that was a funny story. But no, all the nurses were amazing, and they never got mad at me or anything, but they were just like, for your own health, stop milli rocking now. But I'm out now. That's basically the story. So my windpipe is completely closed, but I'm going to have this bandaging here. I don't know for how long. I don't think it'll be for too much longer, because I've been healing up really, really quickly. So now it's just all about re-strengthening my voice, because my muscle memory is a little off just because I haven't, been singing really for the past couple weeks. So my voice is still a little fragile, and just because this bandage, there's like some tension and some pressure on my throat, so it's a little tough to like force my upper register and stuff right now. But over the next couple weeks, it's just going to be all about just strengthening my voice, and I still can sing. I'm not going to sing right now because I don't want to push anything, but I can sing. I still have my falsetto, so that's good. And all is well. I've been healing very quickly. I've been healing super well. The doctor's super excited for me. But my doctor really, literally did save my life. I had probably a couple more hours of swelling before it would have literally closed off my airway completely, and I would not have been able to breathe. So I do want to throw it out there. Just never, take life for granted, and never, it's all the little things in life that really make a difference. Like for me, the biggest thing for the past 2 weeks was just a sense of taste, or a sense of I couldn't smell for the past 2 weeks because the air would all come out of here. It wouldn't go through my nose and through the hair follicles in your nose that make you smell. So a sense of smell, that was definitely something I missed. I really missed the sensation of temperature in food. I really missed having hot food, having cold food. I missed talking. But just a lot of little things. It's all the little things in life that really make the difference. So just don't forget that. And this infection could have happened to any of us. It could have been me. It could have been Jack. It could have been Jonah. It could have been my dad. It could have been anybody. And so I'm just thankful that I'm still here. I'm thankful that everything went as planned, and that I made it to the doctor on time, and that he knew what he was doing, and it was good that I trusted him and trusted his work and his expertise, and so it was definitely a bit of a rough patch, but all is well. I'm alive. I'm good. I can sing. I can talk. And I've been getting back to eating. At first, I could only do liquids. Like the first day I got my voice back, I could only do liquids. But they gave me ice cream and they gave me yogurt and stuff, which was good. Eating ice cream for the first time was an experience because I was like, oh my gosh. And my throat was super sensitive, so I could feel the coldness of the ice cream go all the way down, which is funny. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, just really don't take life for granted. And really just, live each day in the moment and with kindness and with positivity, and just always have a smile on your face. And if you don't have a smile on your face, at least put a smile on someone else's. You know what I mean? Or do both. Hell, do both. But yeah, that's been my TED Talk. But yeah, I'll have this Band-Aid there for a little while, but I think it's kind of fresh. It kind of adds, it's kind of like a neck accessory, you know what I mean? So, yeah, thank you. I want to also thank you guys for all the positive support and all the love and everything you guys were showing me on social media while I was in the hospital, because it really helped keep me going. I would not have been able to do it alone. My mom and my dad and my brother and my sister, they all flew out and stayed with me. My dad, my brother, and sister stayed for a few days, but my dad had to go back to work, and my brother and sister have work and stuff, so they couldn't stay. But my mom stayed the whole time, and my mom's out here in LA with us, which is cool. So she's taking care of my bandage and making sure I'm doing all good and stuff. So should be out here for a few days. But I've been eating good again. I had to kind of ease into eating because my throat obviously was still a little swollen, so I had to I still can't eat Doritos or like really crunchy foods, like French bread, tough French bread I can't eat yet, because we really just don't want to scrape anything in my throat right now, because that would be very bad. But yeah, all is well. Everything is good. I'm back. I'm just really excited to be back because it was a long 2 weeks, I'll tell you guys, not being able to talk and just sitting there playing Fortnite all day, like, just felt like a lazy potato. It's just, I needed to get out, so very, very excited to be back. I just had some pizza. I went out to dinner with my mom, and we got some pasta. It was delicious. Am I attending the WDW concert? Yeah, of course. I'm literally almost right back at it. So as soon as we're back out on the road, I will be fine. I'll be good. So I'm just taking the next, the time while we're still in LA to really just focus on healing and dieting right and that kind of thing. So, yeah. But again, going back to thanking you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the support and all the care and all the love and happiness and positivity you guys showed me while I was in the hospital, because it really, really, really did help. It was really cool for me to go online and just see that people care and people are praying for me, and that I was in more people's thoughts than I could even imagine. So thank you guys. And yeah, just take my experience with a grain of salt, and hopefully you guys can learn something from it and live every day to the fullest, and really just show the love, to those around you that maybe don't get as much love as they deserve, or, just really make sure that everybody's okay, and that you show love to people, because you never know when it's your last day. Thankfully, mine hasn't come yet. Almost did, but we're good. We're alive, we're well. And we got more music to make, baby. We got more shows to do. We got things to see, people to meet. I'm gonna cry. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, thank you guys for coming on here and listening to my story too. Like I said, hopefully y'all can learn something from it. You'll probably hear me talk about it a lot in interviews. But yeah, we back, baby. Corbyn is back. Corbyn is back in the game. Throat is healing up nicely. Oh, and just so you guys know, it doesn't hurt anymore. There's no pain. So I'm not in any pain. I'm all good. The only pain that sucks is when you take this off, because it pulls my skin and it's but that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna hop off right now. I'm kind of hungry. I had some pizza, but I want to get something to drink. So I love you guys. Y'all rock. Again, thank you for all the love you and the guys always show me. Oh, and while we were in the hospital, we got nominated for a VMA. That was sick. What? We got nominated for a VMA? What in the nuts? That was crazy. So make sure y'all are voting for that, because that's cool. It'd be really cool to take that home. So yeah, but that's all in y'all's hands. It's all in the power of the limelights. And yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the new music. I'm glad you guys are enjoying Hooked and Talk. We had a great time making those songs. And I can't wait to perform them. I can't wait to do some acoustic sets and perform them, and it's gonna be fun. So glad y'all are enjoying it, and I'm glad y'all are all here to experience this live with me and experience this beautiful day with me today. But yeah, I'm gonna go, but I just wanted to update y'all, make sure y'all knew what was going on with me and with my whole situation. So how's my singing voice? Perfect. I still got to strengthen it a little bit, but I got my falsetto. La, la. So I got the whole range, so I'll be all good. Alright, peace out, y'all. Thank you for watching. Hope I could answer your questions, and expect me to be back on social media all the time now. I'm no longer a ghost. Oh man, I gotta say, actually, before I go, y'all should have seen my sideburns. 2 weeks of no shaving in the hospital. Oh boy, it's just atrocious. Just atrocious. I had to shave them off immediately. But that's all. Alright, peace out, guys. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.